Okay, good morning. I'm going to apologize in advance, but I feel like I have a good story. I just spent the last 55 minutes literally making a video about everything that happened to my happened last night to my future self to capture it. And so my voice is like I've literally been talking for the last 55 minutes. So I apologize for my voice, but I'm going to try to give you the YouTube clean version of last night. I went out to a strip club, multiple, last night and the night before. And last night was just such a good night. I don't know how to describe this. Just like, oh, okay. Anyway, so I go to this there's this like chain of strip clubs called Susie Wong's. I've been going to or I've been to Susie Wong's twice up until last night. There are what I thought was three others. And so I was like, okay, I went the previous night. I'm not going to go back on the same night or on the next night. Like, that's just too weird. I already had started, I already had girls recognizing me the second time I went, which is hilarious. But anyway, so I'm like, there are three others. I'm just going to go hop 1, 2, 3, and then call it a night and be good. I go to Suzy Wong's 2. It's this like devil cave theme, and it's basically empty. There were like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 other people in there, besides like all of the girls dancing and all the staff. And we'll skip over some details. But what I wanted to capture from this club is my energy. I felt was like amazing, like the most self-confident and confident I've felt in a while. Sorry for the wind noise if you get any of that. Someone left a YouTube comment. If you're watching, thank you. Someone left a YouTube comment on my video a couple days ago suggesting to go to a bar or club and not order an alcoholic drink. And I thought about that. And I was like, I'm going out tonight with the intention of just max discomfort. Just maximize being uncomfortable. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna go to these 3 different places, just be uncomfortable. That's what we're going for. And I thought about this more and more, and I remembered that on the menu, they have non-alcoholic drinks. They're the same price as the cheapest beer. And so I'm sitting there with the menu, and I'm like, am I really gonna do this? And I ordered just a tonic. That's it, just a tonic. And oh my God. Anyway, energy just felt like amazing. I was bopping to the music. Music was actually decent. And this one, I feel bad because many of the girls there dancing were just not as into it. I'll basically just leave it as that. Except there's this one bartender guy that I would bet you $1 million that he was gay. He just had this flamboyant, like just energy, and he was like standing on like in the corner, like chatting with one of the other girls working there, and he's like fucking dancing, and he's like grooving, and he's like grinding, and I'm like, I eventually like looked over, and I was like, bro, get up there, like what? This guy's incredible, like, oh, this is so funny. So anyway, I was laughing. The club is like basically empty. I'm sitting there drinking my non-alcoholic tonic, laughing and just like bouncing to the music. And oh, it was so good. I stayed for like one. I basically finished my drink and then left. And on my way out, I think he initiated, but he like came over and like gave me a hug on my way out, and I gave him like a thank you and left. And then that was so funny. Went to this other club. I couldn't find Susie Wong's 3. There were no people outside. So I went to the one next door, which is the one that I went to the previous night. And it was like, again, like completely empty. And this time it was pretty decently packed. And how do I tell this story in a succinct way? They put me at one of the seats that was like right under one of the dancer tables, like big club. And I was like, oh boy, I'm used to like sitting on the edge, like where my back is to the wall and I can be comfortable. And so now I'm like, it feels like you're in the hot seat sitting there. And it's just way more awkward. And so I'm like, all right, fine. We're maxing for our discomfort. Like, this is fine. I'll figure it out. This is good. And so I'm sitting there. It takes me a while to like settle in and like get my position and feel comfortable. But eventually, menu comes over and I'm like, am I actually going to do this again? And I see on their menu, under like the non-alcoholic, it's like whatever, Sprite and tonic and ginger ale and Coke or whatever. They have juices. And I'm like, oh my God, I can be healthy and get some nutrients while I also go to the club. And so I order an orange juice. And I think it was a guy taking he was like, okay, cool, and came back. And this girl came over, or maybe it was the girl that, and maybe it was the girl that took my order, because she came back and she was like, do you like not drink alcohol? Because like you ordered an orange juice. I'm like, I literally started laughing, and I was like, oh, what do I say here? What do I say here? What do I say here? I was like, I literally responded, it's complicated. I just laughed. I don't know, with the right person, I would have been like, look, I'm just here to be uncomfortable, and like not getting an alcoholic drink is more uncomfortable than getting an alcoholic drink, because like that's the typical thing to do, like you're seen as weird, that kind of thing. That's what I wanted to say, but it wasn't really the right vibe, the type of person to say that to. Anyway, I ended up staying between 30 and I think it was about like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And I kind of finished my drink fairly quickly. And so I don't remember exactly when I finished, but it was like halfway through. I finished my drink and one of the bartenders came over and they took my drink and they were like, oh, do you want another one? And I was like, I'm not really getting the right vibes here. And like, I want to go to the next Susie Wong's. Like, we're just like following the plan. We're just going to get a drink, stay for a little bit, go to the next place. And I'm like, I don't really want another one. I might leave soon. And so I'm like, it's okay, thank you. And this was another reason, was like, it's more uncomfortable if you don't have a drink, because like I have nothing to like hold on to and nothing to like hide behind, that kind of thing. And so I'm sitting there on this stool, like bouncing to the music, trying to have fun, just feel the like music and whatever. And then I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later or so, one of the other bartenders comes over and she like puts the menu down, or like holds the menu in front of me, and she's like, oh, do you want like anything else, like even just a water or something? And I was like, maybe a water. I think I actually said like, oh, do you have like water? And then I looked at the menu and I couldn't find water on the menu. And I was like, whatever. Like I'm about to leave soon. Like give me a couple minutes, and that's what I'm thinking. Like I'm gonna leave soon. So like, whatever, it's fine. And so I'm like, it's okay. Never mind. Thank you. And she kind of gives me like the side eye, kind of like, like you've been without a drink for like kind of a while. And so another maybe, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, as I don't remember, goes by, and I'm still just sitting there, and I'm like about ready to bounce, and all of a sudden this all happened like within 4 seconds. I'm sitting there, and from my right, I think it was the same bartender lady comes over and like drops the menu in front of me with this tone of like, you're gonna buy a drink or you're gonna leave, that kind of thing. And literally, like, as that happened, one of the girls dancing, some of them had the foam whacker things, and they would like whack people. They weren't really doing it as much at this place as some of the other places that I've been to. But she takes one of the foam whacker things and like whacks me on my back. Just like, I don't think I had made any eye contact with this girl at all. And she just comes over and whacks me on the back. It doesn't hurt. It's just like a little, I don't know. It's not even like a ping. There's no sting. It's just like a whack. It's really soft foam. But I mean, it was the gesture, along with like, again, this happened in like 4 seconds, along with the menu like slamming down right in front of me. And I was like, no, it's okay, I'm gonna leave. And like I got up and walked away. And as I left, like nobody, there was no like bouncer that came over. So I left, and I was like, whoa, what just happened? What just happened here? I feel like I just got kicked out of this club. And I admit that by the time I had finished my first drink, until the point at which I left, I could have ordered another drink in that time period. But this is the first time. I mean, I don't know what the expectation is. I don't know what the boundaries are. And so I thought I could just, order one drink. And again, I kept in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm going to leave in a couple minutes. And so I didn't want to like get another drink and just have to like pound it and leave or something. I just wasn't getting the right vibes from the club. So I left. And again, when did I talk about this before? There's another moment, I don't remember now, but it's like this duality of, part of my mind was like, oh my God, I just got in trouble. They just kicked me out. All of the girls there are gonna like blacklist me. They're never gonna talk to me again. They're not gonna let me in the club again. I disrespected them, everybody in there, by not buying a second drink. And at the same time, I was like, this is so good. This is perfect. Literally, this is perfect for you, for me. This is like, thank you. You're hitting the boundary. You're hitting the ceiling. You're getting pushback. Like, this is good. This is healthy. This is healthy for your growth. Like, sure, a little bit disrespectful to not buy a second drink in the grand scheme of things. Not that big of a deal, but just to feel that like discomfort of like feeling like I'm in the wrong is like perfect. So I couldn't find a Susie Wong's 4. So I go back to Susie Wong's 1. And I show up, and there's this like it's a like really more intimate setting, intimate as in smaller. Big table in the middle with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 poles, and like seats on the wall, and stool seats around the middle. And again, this place it was packed on a Tuesday night, it was packed on a Wednesday night. I walk in, I look like towards the outside because I was like, Like that, I'm not sitting on a stool again. That's just awkward. And I saw no open seats on the wall, and there were like 6 stools like standing right in front of me, and I'm like, oh fuck. Okay, all right, fine, I'll sit down here. And so, oh my god, I felt so awkward in there. I felt so awkward. I was like, my eyes were like down on the. This is my 3rd time I've been here, same place. All of the girls are the same. And for context, I went on Saturday night and came back on Tuesday night. So Sunday, Monday night, 2 days break. And 2 of the 4 girls that came over and talked to me said they remembered me. This is on Tuesday night. So I'm like, and then I was there Tuesday night. So it's like, I could just feel, and I started to like look around and make eye contact, like, and recognize, like, oh, everybody's the same. It's the same people. And I made eye contact with this one girl, and I smiled like a friendly, like, hey smile, and she smiles back at me, and I could see the gears turning in her head, like, you're back. Oh my god. And I also felt awkward because I had a couple, handful, maybe 4 or 5-ish girls had come over and talked to me, and I chose to not buy them a drink because I wasn't getting the right vibe, and they left. Actually, I'll be honest, I haven't bought anybody a drink that's come up to me except for one. And so yeah, there was also that of like, all of these girls are going to recognize me. Most of them have, or not most of them, like a handful of them have come and talked to me, and I have not bought them a drink. So like, what kind of, like, what are they going to think about me, you know? And so I felt uncomfortable with that, and I was like, this is good. No, this is good. Like, lean into it. Just like keep going. And okay, there's this one girl who had a great smile and energy, and I made eye contact with her numerous times. She was holding my eye contact and smiling back at me. And how do I tell this story? I had seen her the previous night, and I was like, there are 2 girls in here that have the energy that I'm like looking for, you know, that have that kind of fun, playful energy that I would like enjoy connecting with, or like just having a conversation with, that kind of thing. This one girl, she like probably recognized me, but we were making eye contact. She comes around. Sorry. She moves around the stage eventually in front of me. We like whack each other with the foam whacker things, and she gets off the stage, eventually rotates off, and I'm like, okay, I think she has it in her mind, like we made enough eye contact, smiled at each other enough, that I think she knows that like I'd be interested in like talking with her. And so she's getting off the stage, and I'm like, all right, like come over here and I'll buy you a drink, and like let's talk, and like I want to get to know you, that kind of thing. And she walks straight over to this corner, and there's so much context. previous night when I went, trying to walk the line. I saw the girl that I talked to on Saturday night, and she told me, she was like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And she goes, "Sorry, I have a like, it's great to see you. Like, sorry, I have a customer." Call them a customer. um, so like implying like I can't sit down with you. Like I have to go over there. But like it's great to see you. And so that was Tuesday night. Same thing happens last night, Wednesday night. Same girl comes over and she's like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And she again goes like, "Oh, sorry, I have a customer like last night." And I look over and it's the same guy. It's the same guy. This is all, he's probably like mid 40s. I don't know. Asian guy. And I'm like, oh boy. So anyway, fast forward, this girl that I've been making eye contact with gets off stage and walks directly over to him. And I'm like, oh, come on, bro. um, Fast forward a bit, skip over some details. Skip a bit, brother. She gets back, eventually rotates back to like dancing. I order a couple more drinks. I actually ordered a couple more drinks this time. I ordered a cranberry juice, orange juice, and an apple juice. I'm a fucking child. And she eventually gets back on stage. And I'm like looking, at this point I'm like, okay, whatever. Like just give me a little bit more eye contact, give you a tip, and I'll leave. That's it. Like that's it. I'll call my night there. Back in the same like starting pole, no eye contact with me at all, facing the like complete opposite direction. I'm like, this is kind of weird. And I'm like looking at her or like looking towards her, and this other girl, the one like kind of in front of me, gives me this sign. Like she puts up her hand like this and does like a no and like looks over there. And like I still don't know exactly. It was a message like don't look, or like you can't look, or like yeah, some kind of like don't look. And I was like, oh, okay, like sorry, maybe I'm like looking too long. Or it wasn't like a confrontational, but I was like, like this is weird, there's something more here. And this girl that like does the thing takes her like foam whacker thing and like gives like a little like pointy thing over to the corner. And like I kind of look over, or I didn't look over, but I was like, I knew what was over. It was the customer. And I was like, oh, okay. And she gets like next song, whatever. She's looking in the direction of the corner. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay. Well, the first round, like we were looking at each other, but now you're looking over there. Something's changed here. And this girl does it again, like the like no look thing, and like points over, and I'm like, oh, this is so weird. Like what the fuck? Like did this guy like pay or like tell her to like not look at anybody else, or like not look at me or something? Like this is so weird. And then she eventually gets to the point like right in front of me, and finally she like, we're like looking, making eye contact with each other. And I get out my wallet and I'm like, okay, like I just want to show my appreciation to you. I'm gonna give you a tip and I'm gonna head out. And I take out my wallet, and I'm like waiting for her to look down at me. We finally make eye contact. I hold up my money and like extend my hand out, and she looks at me and she does like one of these, like a no, and like a like waves her hand. And mind you, context, the previous night I tipped another girl. So it's not like you're not allowed to tip or like you're not allowed to give money or anything. And so she does like the shake the head, shake the hand, and she's holding a foam whacker thing, takes her foam whacker and points it over to the corner again. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is, I'm like, I'm trying to tip you, and this fucking customer, dude, in the corner, whatever. I'm just gonna assume he told her that like you can't accept tips from whoever, either me in particular because he saw her looking at me a bunch, or like from anyone. I don't know, but like, oh my God, dude, I was furious. I was furious. I wasn't actually furious, but I was like, oh, this is so like. I just wanted to show my appreciation. Like, you have great energy, and like you look like you're having fun up there, and I like take my goddamn money. So anyway, I left after that. I was, my consolation was like, I went to the bathroom and then I came out and I was standing there and I was like, okay, at the very least, just like look over here, and so I can say like, you have a great smile, and I'll leave. And like she didn't look over, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna, and I just left, and I was like, oh my God. So anyway, left frustrated, but all in all, like such a good night, such a good story. Like the turn of events, going from the first night just like completely alone, confident in my own skin, the energy from this guy dancing, just so funny, and then getting kicked out of the second club, and then third place going back, everyone basically recognizing me, and then trying to tip this girl and trying to buy this girl a drink, and not literally not allowing me to do that. Anyway, discomfort and feeling uncomfortable and awkward and personal growth and all of that. See you tomorrow.